What's going on, everyone? Daniel Rodriguez here, aka Big D. It's time to review The Walking Dead Season 6, Episode 4, titled Here's Not Here. It's a spoiler review. If you have not seen the episode, please go to amc.com/TheWalkingDead. Watch the full episode there. And thanks so much for joining me, guys. Let's get right to it, man. Again, spoilers, so... this is a 90-minute Morgan episode. Many people, where's Glenn? What about Rick? What about, the group? But... I will say it's bad timing that they put the Morgan episode here. They should have really done this in Season 5. It would have made more sense, especially with his stick skills and, his whole martial art thing. That would have been fine for Season 5, but Season 6, it is kind of bad timing. And that's just me personally, what I think. But let's get right into the episode. It should take me less than 2 minutes to recap the episode, give you my pros and cons and final score. And don't forget... Monday nights, baby, I review... Well, don't forget, on Sundays nights, The Librarians, Monday Legends, with Sean Bean, Gotham, Supergirl, and Fargo. So stay tuned for all those. Here we go. Oh, man. Morgan's going crazy, because you gotta clear, baby, back in Season 3. His time when he... What was it, Season 4 or Season 3, man? Was it that long ago, Season 3? When he stabbed Rick and everything. After all that, he's in his little room and he's like, you know that you were supposed to, and there's like a fire going everywhere in the place. So we see him surviving, and he's he has a fire. He gets a bunch of zombies and the walkers, and he burns them up, and he makes a spike circle. He's just making a defense, and he kills he kills 2 humans. Because he has to clear. He's saving people. He has to get the zombies, the walkers away, and the humans away. That's how you survive. And these people were just like, hey, are you? And then spike right through the throat. And then he literally strangled the life out of this kid. It was insane, man. So anyway, he finds a cabin, and that's where he meets Eastman. Now, they didn't meet, face-to-face yet, because they had a little trouble, Morgan's a little crazy. And we have a goat there named Tabitha. That's cool. So that's where Eastman is, and Morgan's in a cell, and Eastman gave him food, tomatoes, and sausage. Not bad for the apocalypse, honestly. And he's eating, and he's talking about PTSD and all that, the whole post-traumatic stress stuff. He's talking about, how he has that, that... Eastman used to work with a bunch of criminals and everything, and used to do psychic evaluations and everything, or psychic evaluations. So that was awesome. That's just out of the apocalypse, you meet a guy that could really help you get away from your insane Morgan to the nice Morgan. So that's cool. So he's talking about there's a door and you're trying to go through, and you keep on opening that door, but your body is physically there, but your mind is way back there in a place that you don't want to be there anymore. Say, with his wife and his daughter. His wife and his son dying. His mind is still there, but his body's right over there, you know what I mean? So, he's talking about, the cell door was always open, by the way. He was like, the cell door was always open. And so Morgan attacks Eastman, but, he ends up getting his ass kicked. So, he says, go or stay. You could either leave, or you could have a sofa to sleep on. So Morgan saves Tabitha the goat while Eastman is at the cemetery. He created the cemetery. All life is precious. So he buries every walker that he kills and takes the wallets, and he looks at the names of who they were, and he makes a grave for them. That's really nice of him. So they write the names, and he gives Morgan a stick, man, and they're going to be training. He's going to be training him Aikido. So that's really cool when he starts training him, and they're working hard, baby. It's, literally like a Mulan or some type of thing where, they're working hard and everything. I want to think of Mulan so bad. Just when they were training and everything, and they were all together as brothers and everything. So they really are training and working hard. And Eastman tells this story about his family was murdered by this man that had it out for him, who was pure evil. So he says, Morgan says, you're good at redirecting. But we found out, again, his daughter was murdered, his son was murdered, his wife was murdered, and all life is precious. So they go to the spike circle, and there's a walker there, and he ends up, it's the walker that he choked, the son, it's now a walker It's a walker zombie, and ends up biting Eastman. So he's like, he is not here. He is not here. I told you not here. And he's like, well, he got bit right in the back. I was like, damn it, Morgan. All you had to do was just stab him in the head. But he froze up for a second. Morgan still wants to die. He's always like, kill me, kill me. So he saves this couple because Eastman goes back to his camp. Morgan saves her. He ends up seeing a couple. You think he's going to kill the couple, but he ends up saving them from a walker, and they're like, thank you. They leave him a can of food, and he ends up thinking in his head, he's like, wait, it's not too late for me. I got to go back to Eastman. So he ends up going back to Eastman, and we find Tabitha the goat dead. And Eastman's family, his killer is buried. He ended up burying the killer of his family. And he actually said that he starved him 47 days. So he says he was never going to kill again. Eastman said, I would never kill again. And that I was there 47 days seeing him starve, and I went to Atlanta to go turn myself in, and the world has ended. And I love what Morgan says, man. He's like, the world hasn't ended. Because it technically hasn't. It's just the apocalypse, but it's the zombie apocalypse. The world's still around. It could be rebuilt, so it's not over yet. It's not like lava is spewing out of the earth. So anyway, progress. You're making progress. Always good to see that. Eastman ends up dying, of course, from his injuries of the bite. And Morgan was telling the leader of the wolves a story. Now we're in modern day again, and the wolf is like, really? You think that could help me? You think I can learn like you? And then, he's like, I believe so. You can be saved. Wow, Morgan. Wow. Well, like your buddy Eastman, you're all gonna die. And then he just went full-on wolf psycho. Like Morgan just told his whole story, probably a waste of time, because obviously the wolf guy's still going to try to kill them either way, which is scary. He's like, I'm going to have to kill every one of you, because he has a code, Morgan has a code, everyone has their own different type of code. So Rick yells at the end, Morgan leaves the wolf guy alone. He's all tied up, and he's kind of hiding them from Alexandria. And he walks out, and you could hear Rick from far away, open the gate! Open the gate! You could hear him yelling from far away, and Morgan runs. Fade to black. What did I think about this episode overall, ladies and gentlemen? Well, first off, let me tell you, I've been hearing a lot of the online reaction, what people are thinking about this episode. Of course, last week, Glenn broke the internet. It was hashtagging Glenn dead. Rest in peace, Glenn Ree. This episode, man. This episode. I hear a lot of people saying, it was slow, it was boring, it was stupid. I like Morgan, but I don't care for a 90-minute episode of him. Bad timing. Where's Glenn? What about Glenn? What about Glenn? What about Glenn? And then like, after a week of hearing about Glenn, it's kind of like, I don't care no more, honestly, about the Glenn thing now. Morgan, although, last week, if you saw my review, I said, Morgan episode, it's stupid. Why would we want to see a 90-minute episode? And then I saw this episode, and I was like, holy crap. That was pretty great, man. I was honestly shocked how great it was. Because I thought it would be boring. I thought it would be dragging slow. But the stories would kept it interesting. I'm about to get to my pros right now. And I wasn't going to watch it. I watched it last night, but not live. It was on my DVR. Because me and my buddy, my friend, you could say buddy. You could also say that. No, some people refer to buddy, which is nice. I'd rather say buddy, not friend. Because he's more of buddy, best friend. The best pal you can have, really. David Collins. Some of you might know David. We were out doing stuff because we don't get to see each other a lot, and we sold a burger. Anyway, that happens, and I'm here watching. I'm just like sitting here, so I didn't get to see it. And I came home, and my mom was like, "Oh, the guy in Walking Dead, it's Walter White's brother-in-law." And I'm like, "Hank? Dean Norris was on The Walking Dead?" And I went up and I put my DVR on, and it was John Carroll Lynch. I was like, "Oh my God, not Dean Norris, Mom! You You don't even know who She watches American Horror Story. If you didn't know who Eastman was, that's Twisty the Clown from American Horror Story. He was also on American Horror Story Hotel this week playing John Darcy, something like that, where he put on the makeup also as well. He was the clown. So, here we go. Let me get to my pros first off. I gotta say the opening of the episode is a very, very intense opening, man. Because he's like, you know that you were supposed to. And he's yelling, dude, and he's alone, and the fire's going on and everything. He's literally just mad. The most insane Morgan you've ever seen, man. The opening was a great opening. And Eastman, the character of Eastman was amazing. He was interesting. I got emotionally connected to him right off the bat. He was a nice person. He was a good-willing guy, willing to help, hardworking man. And it's just John Carroll Lynch, the way he plays his characters. It's mind-blowing because his emotion that he does. And I've cried when he was talking about his family. The story of Eastman is just so complex and amazing and detailed just for a 90-minute episode. John Carroll Lynch's acting is like where it's rising up, and you're already crying before he even hits you with the details, man. You like before he says they were murdered, you're already getting teary just by the way when he's saying my daughter, my son, my wife. Like you're already getting teared up, baby. You just it builds up and it builds up and it builds up and it never falls. It doesn't drop on you, but it still rises and rises until the end of the episode to his demise. It's instantly gets you just like that. For me, honestly. So Eastman was awesome, dude. Very awesome. I wish John Carroll Lynch would have been on the show. I think he would have been a perfect fit for the Alexandrians. I think that would have been a nice, awesome intro for him to come back and be alive. But since he's dead... But John Carroll Lynch is a busy man, you know. It only hurts a moment. Of course, for Twisty. Morgan as well, dude. Lenny James. A lot of people are like, Lenny James probably demanded a 90-minute episode. Hey, Lenny James is he's a busy guy also as well for doing this. And people are saying, I'm not really liking Morgan's return. I remember when I wanted Morgan to come back, but now I'm not liking it. Imagine if Morgan wasn't in this season. Imagine if they never ended the season 5 how it would be. How would it be then if Morgan wasn't there? How would it still be a badass season? Would it be a great season? Would it be kind of boring? What would be going on if Morgan wasn't in there? Cut all the Morgan scenes out of season 6 and say yourself, what would it be like? You do that yourself. But Morgan Lenny James in here, fantastic acting. He's a fantastic actor. He's great. He's phenomenal. He literally deserves a nomination. Now, I'm not saying for this certain episode, but throughout the whole Walking Dead series, every scene he's in, he brings his all. And I love Lenny James, dude. He stole the show as well as John Carroll Lynch did. The whole killing and the action in here was intense as well. I mean, you got him... He freaking throws a walker and the spikes go on its head and everything. I mean, the every kill in here is intense. Like I said, it's a very intense, and the story itself is what keeps you going. Now, I could see 12-year-olds who watch The Walking Dead weekly. I'm 12 and I'm in middle school and I watch it. No, not me. I'm saying like I go on the bus and I have to go. Like I'm a senior already. I'm a senior year, but I have to go on a bus with middle school kids to get because I'm the only person that goes from my side of town to the other side to go to the special graduating school for help. And they're like, The Walking Dead, you see it? yeah, oh yeah, that Morgan, yeah, you're boring episode. I'm like, people don't get it. People just expect Walking Dead, zombies everywhere. It's a survival show. You shouldn't be 10-year-old watching The Walking Dead and expecting action every freaking second. 6 years in, you should know what to expect already. The older people, I'm surprised adults are like, this was boring. This was... Excuse me? It was boring. It wasn't slow paced for me, baby. The story kept me going. The story was fantastic in here, man. The ending of the episode, open the gate! Great tease, man, for next week. And the whole ending, of course, with the wolves, revealing that the wolf leader's still alive as well. The cemetery, dude, that was a nice gesture, dude. The cemetery was pretty awesome. Very emotional. I'm going to try to wrap it up here. I'm taking too long. The emotional in here, I did cry 3 or 4 times in this episode because it was just that powerful. And the training, dude. Did you see Morgan when he was like... Like, dude, that training, though. Like, I love it. awesome, man. Awesome. And I love how we saw the fall of Morgan, and then we saw the rise, and then it fell again, kill me, and then the rise again. And how we see Morgan in season 6. We saw the fall, the rise, the fall, and the rise again. I love that, man. I really do. So, those are the pros. The only cons I really have to say is they didn't show Eastman's death. I was kind of disappointed with that. I really wish it would have been more emotional if we saw Morgan put Eastman down. Or, even no one cared when he got bit. Like, Morgan wasn't like, you got bit. It's like no one cared. It was like, oh, you got bit. It's like Morgan didn't care. I wanted it to be like a brotherly bond, like, oh, you're my master type of thing. Not like slave wives or anything, but I'm saying like, you're my master. Like, you got me out of a dark spot. Like, I owe you my life. Like, I owe you everything, man, because you got me out of this spot. You're my best friend. In the apocalypse, you're my brother, basically. You're my hero. And it's kind of like, well, like, I'm going to die and that's it. Like, no, put him down. Show that emotional scene that would have ripped everyone's hearts out and made them cry. You know what I'm saying? So, overall, I'm going to end up giving this episode of The Walking Dead, Season 6, Episode 4, Here's Not Here, an A-. It's a great episode, man. It is, by far, the greatest dramatic episode of Season 6. Just dramatic-wise. Action, Episode 2 is still the better action episode of Season 6 so far. But by far, the directing was fantastic in here as well, man. So, everything about this episode was just A-. It was great. Nothing bad about it. I love the pacing in here. Yeah, one or two scenes were just like a little slow, but it was really quiet. So, what goes around comes around. Indonesian junk. Anyway, see y'all for the next one next week. And subscribe for more if you want. Comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking about The Walking Dead. And Glenn is alive. Bye-bye.